Happy Friday, CS Nation. We're back again, and man, do we have a lot to talk about. A lot of the conversation points that we've had out in the field this week have come directly from the conference that a lot of your directors were able to attend last week. And I wanted to start off with our sales opportunities that we have available to us as spoken by Doug Smith, the VP of Product Marketing and Innovation. He's got some really, what I think is some awesome news about our market and who we have to sell to. So take a listen to what he has to say. It's only about a minute long, so take a listen to Doug Smith. He is the VP of Product Marketing and Innovation for Sprint.
Did you know almost 80% of Sprint customers don't yet have a non-handset product, the 6 products that we're talking about? That's a huge opportunity. And we have Delta Partners, a consultant that helps Sprint out with a lot of complicated calculations and analysis. They looked at our customer base, they looked at all the accounts, and based on tenure, how many lines they have, what their credit qualifications are, and many other things, they've determined the optimum spend per month for your customers. We have over 6.2 million customers who are $30 or more below their optimum spend. Share of wallet, don't be concerned about share of wallet. You've got 6.2 million accounts that can spend $30 up to $100 more per month and still be within their optimum spend amount. So that's the base opportunity. Don't be afraid, be confident.
Okay, so the exciting news, 78% of our customers do not currently have a non-handset product on their device. It's something that we want. It's not going to be an accelerator this month, but it is something that drives GP for us. And here is the other exciting thing that I think we have to talk about, and that is 6.2 million of our customers have the ability to spend up to $30 more a month on their cell phone bills than they currently do today. So how do we get to a point where we can get that revenue? And the answer to that is we have to earn that business. So how do we earn the business? Let's talk about it.
When we do the cash project cash in the workshops, inside the workshops we do write a quote for a customer, right? We ask commission questions, and that's how we get to show the people in the room what the actual correct answer is. And I really hope some of these surprise you. Here's the first one. 75% of the time when we ask the people in the room, regardless of who they are, managers or reps, 75% of the time, they cannot give a correct quote for a new customer. They can't. The number is wrong. That's crazy. So even if they wrote the quote sheet correctly, the numbers they put is incorrect.
So here's some amazing statistical information that we got, and the first thing that should jump off the page as you look at this, hopefully over my shoulder, is how poorly the PR channel does in relationship to core in terms of its sales. So what we have here, we're looking at non-handset products and how many are sold daily. This is the average percentage of reps per month that do not sell one of these products. So as you look across the board, obviously tablets is something most of our reps are selling. Watches now is also something most of our reps are selling, but you'll notice that in core only 3% of their reps are not selling it, 12% in the dealer channel. Sprint Drive, 40% are not selling Sprint Drive. 46% are not selling Tracker, 29% are not selling Safe and Found, and 40% are not selling Lookout. So I wanted to throw something in here about Lookout because I think it's one of those products that we don't talk about enough and that we really don't know how to sell. So Doug Smith, again, the VP of Product Marketing and Innovation for Sprint, had some information about Lookout that should help you gain some traction, especially when you understand that 1 million customers have already said yes to this product.
Safe and Found, Lookout, we're going to talk about in a minute. These are real products, solving real problems for real customers, adding real value to their lives. And you should have confidence in approaching customers and talking to them about these products. We have over 600,000 customers using Safe and Found, protecting their family with this product. You should have confidence. And it's a great value. We're the only ones with app-based or network-based tracking. Got parental controls, and we talked about tracker, people and things. The 30-day trial is not a gimmick, guys, and I don't think you think it is. It's not a gimmick. It's a real opportunity for people to try it with zero obligation. And it's not like it's going to roll over and they're going to have to start paying for it. Right? They're going to get notified twice by SMS before they start paying for Safe and Found. So they can opt out if they don't want it. Right? And that $9.99 a month value includes the MRC for one tracker. That's an amazing value. Nowhere else can they get that value. Only in a Sprint store. Only at a Sprint location can they get that value. And just like Tracker, we're improving the location capability of Safe and Found. When I started, the Safe and Found app was rated 2 in the store. It's now high 3s, and we're not stopping until it's high 4s. I'm probably more excited to talk about Lookout than any other product that we've talked about today, and I love them all. And we've got the Lookout team here today, and I really hope you stop by and talk to them. They want your feedback. All of our providers want their feedback. We've got the folks from CoolPad that do our tracker here too. Don't forget to see them. So this product has more value. It's got so much value packed into it that I think people are overwhelmed. They don't know how to talk about it. Now we've got a few that kill it, and you'll see why. See how I know that in a minute. But this provides tons of value. Safe browsing. What does that mean? Does anybody know what phishing is with a PH? It's a bad site that looks like a good site that tricks you into putting your username and password in. And then they steal your username and password, and guess what comes next? They steal your identity. This product will warn you if you're on a high-risk phishing site. It'll warn you. Wi-Fi protection, if you're in public Wi-Fi, you can turn on VPN and make sure that your communications are safe. Who knows what the dark web is? That's weird. Dark web. You can Google it. It's websites that aren't indexed by search engines. And why aren't they indexed? Who's on those? There was a study done. Over 50%, 57% of websites on the dark web are illicit, bad things. They want to do bad things to people that stumble upon them. If a Lookout customer stumbles onto a dark website, they'll be warned. If you've got questions about your identity and the risk that your identity has, you've got somebody you can call 24/7 if you're a Lookout customer. And so much more. And we've got the same 30-day trial as we have with Safe and Found. 30 days, no obligation. Every customer needs it. If you have a phone, you need Lookout. You're doing your customers a favor if you're telling them about Lookout. Let's talk about the $1 million guarantee. Anybody know like a really popular brand with identity protection? LifeLock. Heard it from many people across the room. And what's their big claim to fame? $1 million guarantee, right? Ever looked at the detail? They're owned by Norton now. For $10 a month or so, you get $1 million, and that $1 million covers your lawyer's fees, it covers identity experts. But if you lose money, it covers you for $25,000 of electronic funds transfer. So the lawyers are making all the money here. What if your customer has a 401k that's got more than $25,000 in it? With LifeLock, you have to pay $26 a month to get the coverage that we have for $1 million, or for $10 a month. Our $1 million coverage is up to $1 million in lost funds for electronic transfers, plus the legal fees, plus the experts. $26 with LifeLock, $9.99 with Lookout. Who's going to have confidence talking to their customers about Lookout? Because we got a big milestone coming up. We thought it might happen by today, but it's going to be January 25th, January 26th. We'll have our 1 millionth subscriber on Lookout.
So how do we earn our customers' business? I'm going to read something to you that is probably also on the screen behind me if I'm any good at what I'm doing, which is debatable. It's our customer intent statement, and this is how we want our customers to feel about us. And I think as I read it, you'll see that many of our customers don't at this point. In every interaction with Sprint, I feel like they take the time to not only understand my individual needs, but to also find the best possible solutions for me. They seem to genuinely care, making me feel heard and valued. I'm not just buying some piece of technology. In truth, I'm getting something much bigger than that because Sprint's products and services are woven into the fabric of my life. Their team members give me the confidence and peace of mind. I know I can rely on them to look out for my best interests. In a time when it's difficult to depend upon any company, I can count on Sprint. They consistently do the little things that make such a big difference. So team, that customer intent statement is something that we are working towards this year. In so much as that goes, we have added transactional SPS to our accelerators and decelerators for the month of February. So our accelerators and decelerators for the month, and again, for those of you who don't know what an accelerator or decelerator is, please talk to your manager during this meeting or after this meeting, or call me up. I'm happy to explain it to you. I can tell you the people who hit on their accelerators and decelerators every month earn 2 to 3 times as much in commissions as the other reps within this organization. So you want to be at 3% on your accelerators, 3% on your accelerators, and triple what everybody else in your store is making as a result. So Sprint Complete, 62%. Still waiting on some videos for Sprint Complete role plays. I haven't gotten any yet. I'd like to get some. And we gave you an opening last week. Take a look at last week's video. There's some conversation points that you can start with your customer on the sales floor, and we'd love to hear those in your role plays. Unlimited upsell at 70%. We're going to keep unlimited upsell this month. So that was an accelerator in the month of January. We'll continue in the month of February. Again, this is something we gave you some talking points for in last week's video to give you a way to introduce it to your customers as opposed to waiting till you get behind the counter and just popping it on them. Transactional SPS, 90%. Is what we're shooting for transactional SPS. That would mean about a third of our stores are at that 90% mark right now. We would want to get 75 to 80. I mean, we want everybody above that 90%. But realistically, 75 to 80% of our stores above 90% would be fantastic. And it would be putting us in the right direction. I've got some information on transactional SPS I'll talk to you in a second. And then we have a forgiveness metric again this month, sort of like we had last month. Last month it was performance action forms that needed to be completed. Those still need to be completed before the 6th. So if you're an employee listening to this and your manager doesn't give you a performance action form before the 6th, please reach out to your district manager because we want that to happen. We also want it to happen mid-month so you know where you're at and where you're trending for commissions. That isn't what the metric is this month. The metric this month is 90% lunch breaks. So that's clocking out for lunch. We need a 90% mark. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. In order to keep staffing where we are right now, in order for us to not have to let go of people, we have to reduce the number of folks who are working through lunch. We need you to take that hour lunch. We need you to take it every day. 90% is what we're expecting for stores, and if stores hit that, then they will have a forgiveness accelerator. So that will take away a negative if you have one of those and make you a positive. Now, transactional SPS. So people are going to ask what that means and what that entails. So let's talk about that. So here is the actual SPS verbatims that your customers get. They get SMS intro. This is Sprint. We'll text you 3 questions about your store visit. Survey, texts are free. We value your feedback. May we follow up call with you if there's a problem. Question 1, SPS. Based on your last store visit, how likely are you to recommend that store on a scale from 0, not likely at all, to 10? That's question number 1. Question number 2, the verbatim. Please tell us why you answered that way. Question number 3, overall, how likely are you to recommend Sprint to friends or family on a scale from 0, not at all, to 10, extremely likely? And question number 4, may we contact you, yes or no, about your experience? Folks, statistical information that was taken last year, about 40,000 customers gave Sprint a 0 on their SPS surveys. Those are customers who actually took the time to take the survey, of which a lot of people do not. And 40,000 customers answered with a 0. 90,000 customers answered with a 5 or below. Now, Connectivity Source doesn't own all of those surveys, but we do know that we are contributing to that based upon the survey results we're getting today. So, transactional SPS at 90% is what we're shooting for. You want customers to take that survey, you want them to answer in the positive, and the way you do that is you take care of them at the point of purchase. So let's talk about exactly what you need to do to improve your transactional SPS.
We sit in the room and say, hey, 3 lines, new customer. So that's why it's extremely important when Cody talked yesterday about share and compare tool. That is because we don't have to deal with the issues in the back end. Share and compare will do it every new customer. Every new customer should always do a share and compare. Period.
Hey everyone, in this Share and Compare tips and tricks video, we're going to look at just accessing Share and Compare in the first place. How do you get in? So a lot of folks have been reaching out with feedback that when they access through iConnect through this Plan Calculator Share and Compare link, it brings them to the store login page as it should. But then when they click the link for being on a store terminal, click here to enter Share and Compare, it might return an error that looks something like this. So some of you guys might have already seen this. So what do you do instead? You jump over to that login screen, but instead of clicking that, click here to enter Share and Compare on a store terminal link. Go to the tablet sign-on. Even if you're on a PC or a tablet or an iPad or anything else, use that tablet sign-on box. Put in your store agent code there, hit log in, and in just a second, you are into Share and Compare, ready to make a quote for your customer. Thanks for watching today, guys. Talk to you next time.
You want to improve your transactional SPS, what you need to do is a quote sheet 100% of the time and share and compare for your new customers. You do written quote sheets for your customers who are existing, which is 97% of the people walking through your door. And for the 3% of new customers that walk through your door, you're going to do a share and compare form 100% of the time. We're asking for this every single time. Part of the way to improve some of these measures, part of the way to improve the customer experience is to make sure that experience is consistent from one customer to the next, that the sales process is consistent from one customer to the next. And one of the things that will allow for that to happen is a consistent quote sheet. And I mean a well filled out quote sheet. We do garbage quote sheets to put checks in the box. That's not what we want. These quote sheets need to be filled out properly, and they need to be filled out to the point where a customer has no question about what they're getting. You want that quote sheet to include the accessories that they're getting. You want it to include Sprint Complete. You want it to include Lookout or any of the other features that you're adding. We're not slamming any of this stuff on a customer. We're adding it to the quote sheet. We're adding it to the account the right way. And you do that through the quote sheet, and you do that through Share and Compare. I have some videos on Share and Compare. I'm also going to add some additional Share and Compare ones to answer some questions about taxes and how to retrieve archived Share and Compare forms. That's one of the things that's so awesome about Share and Compare. You do one of those today, and a month from now, you can go back and you can pull something that you filled out for a customer. So not only can you send that information to the customer, you have access to that information at a later date. So that makes Share and Compare a really, really valuable tool, and it makes a quote sheet a valuable tool. So make sure you're doing that 100% of the time. Team, I assure you, if you will become consistent with the processes of using the quote sheet for existing customers, making sure it is 100% filled out, using the Share and Compare tool for new customers, and making sure all of that information remains archived, making sure that you go through the ESA form with the customer at the end of the transaction, making sure they get an email to them, making sure they know what to expect. I promise you, if you do all of those things, your SPS scores will go through the roof. And I can also assure you that it will cut down on the churn that we see in this organization. My counterpart, Rob, and I here in the office get every single discretionary credit request. And in the last week, we've had probably about 4 or 5 of them where requests were made for $500 and $1,000 and $1,200 and $2,000. The common denominator with every single one of these discretionary credit requests is that customers are indicating that they did not get what they said they wanted to get, that they did not sign up for a specific rate plan, that they didn't ask for an add-a-line phone, that they didn't understand that they had to have an add-a-line phone on their account in order to get a free tablet. These are all things that would be obviously cleared up if we spent the time, the 30 seconds to 90 seconds, to go through the ESA form with the customer at the end of the transaction, and don't just blow it off and say, oh, well, don't pay any attention to what's on here because it's not right. If you see it on that form, it's going to be on the customer's bill. So if it's not right, we have to fix it before they leave the store. If you do those things, I promise you, your SPS scores will go through the roof. You will be able to collect more referrals, your customers will be happier, and you'll sell more. These are all things that go hand in hand, and it makes us stronger as a company. Now, I want to share some videos that I received. Obviously, you already saw the one on how to access the Share and Compare tool. I've got some others that I want to attach here at the end. Cami is actually not going to join us this week, so it's just me. Next week I'm actually out of the office, so it will only be Cami next week. But this is it. I'm going to throw over to some Share and Compare videos, how to use it. I'm gonna publish these separately on the source as well, so that you have access to them to review for how to use taxes, how to have Sprint perks on Share and Compare, and how to retrieve archived information. Folks, we're going into February. We're going to get into a very busy time of year for us. It's a very exciting time to be in the wireless business, and Sprint is a great place to be. We've got a great product, we've got great services, and we've got it at a price that is unbeatable. Connectivity Source is a great place for you to be. We take care of our employees here. You've got awesome opportunities and the opportunity to make more money than I've seen in any other retail wireless company. So let's have a fantastic February. Congratulations on a good January. We can do better in February. Let's commit to that. Let's commit to it today and go get them. Have a great week.
Hey everyone, in this Share and Compare tips and tricks video, I'm going to help you overcome one of the more common questions I've been getting so far. How do we account for Sprint perks? That's a big part of how we sell today, is finding out who they work for, where they work, and if they qualify for Sprint perks, so that we can get them on premium and get them all that extra value with Amazon Prime and the added mobile hotspot and international and all that good stuff as well for the same cost as Plus. So how do you work that in? So in the unlimited plan section, once I put that in there, I am going to go ahead and put these two lines on premium. We'll use autopay, and I'm going to proceed to the next section. Going into this promotion section, I'm going to hit this little plus icon here for add promotion, and I'm just going to choose other. I'm going to put two lines because both of their lines are going to go on premium and qualify for premium for the price of Plus. So then in promotion name, you can name it Sprint Perks. I think it's a little bit more personalized to instead put where they work, employee discount. So let's say it's a CVS employee. So I'm going to put CVS employee discount. And we know that is a monthly discount, and it's the amount of $10. So make sure that because you're putting the number of lines as 2, you're going to put the actual dollar amount per discount, not total it up. So one of the common mistakes here is we know that in net they're going to get a $20 discount, but they're getting 2 $10 discounts, really is how it's going to look. For promotion end date, this is certainly an ongoing promotion, so I'll go ahead and pick something basically a year out from now for that discount. Then I'm just going to move through and finalize my quote, hit calculate, and it's now going to account for that discount. So right in that other section under promotions, you can see right here, CVS employee discount monthly minus $20. So it totaled up that 2 $10 discounts to give them those premium lines for the price of Plus. Hopefully this video was helpful, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks for Hey everyone, in this Share and Compare tips and tricks video, we're going to talk about taxes and how you apply taxes, or if you want to zero out taxes so that you can just do a quote before taxes and fees to give you that option. So what you can do once you've logged into Share and Compare, click this little icon right up here. It looks like a storefront. You're going to click that, and you can set the default sales tax and service tax. Obviously, I think most people probably know their default sales tax. Let's just put 6.5%. And if you don't know your service tax for the state or area that you live in or that your store is in, you can certainly Google that and find it pretty easily for your specific location. But let's just go ahead in this example and put in 15%. You're just going to hit save, and that's now what's going to automatically populate in the tax boxes as you fill in. So let's go in as if we're going to do a new customer quote. I'll pick a smartphone, and I'll just go with an iPhone 11, and we'll just put one of them on there on Flex Lease with, of course, for complete. You can see in this tax box, this is using the default sales tax for my location. So that's where I put in the 6.5%. So you can now see over here, it has begun to apply the taxes to the price of the device. Now over on service plans, I will choose the unlimited plan. Let's go ahead and put them on unlimited premium and put them on auto pay. And you can see again, it automatically has applied 15% as the service tax. So it's actually going to add that to the quote as it calculates and finalizes. So it's putting that 15%, applying it to the cost of one line on unlimited premium and adding that to the quote. If you've got someone from out of state that's coming in and maybe they have a different service tax, if you know it, you can just simply delete that and change it to, let's say, 18% or whatever it is for where that person comes from, and make that adjustment. Or you can simply just zero it out, and it will remove that component from the quote. I'll change it back to the 18, and we'll go ahead and put in some information just for this test quote. And calculate, and you can see it's got in the due today section, it's putting taxes on there. Obviously for that one activation fee, it is applying taxes to the device and the rate plan. You can see that total month estimate of $16.30 a month. It does give you that subtotal as well of $110, so that you can really see, you know, what that's going to look like. So that's how you apply or choose not to apply based on what your preference is or what the customer's preference is, taxes for both the rate plan and the devices. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you next. Hey everyone, in this Share and Compare tips and tricks video, I'm going to show you guys how to access and use the archive in Share and Compare. This is really one of the most powerful aspects of Share and Compare. It allows you to retain the quotes that you delivered to a customer and review what we offered them, what plan maybe we tried to put them on, what promotions we had available and offered to them at the time. Especially if they don't end up buying, that gives you that opportunity to easily get back in touch with them and maybe make them a different offer or position it in a different way that can help you close the deal. So the archive is this button right up here in the top right corner. It looks like kind of a file folder. We're going to click that. The first time you go in, it's going to ask you for a password. That password is set and delivered to the store manager. So make sure that that you work with your store manager to get access if you are not one. But once you get into the archive here, you're going to see a list of all your quotes. So you can see the store that I'm logged in as has only got my test quotes in there, but you can sort them by rep name. So if we had a bunch of different quotes in here, we could sort it and view them in order of rep name, so we could maybe reach out and contact each prospect that each rep worked with. You can sort by customer name if you're looking for a specific customer in there. You can look by type, so if you want to see someone who is an existing customer, maybe we looked in NBA and made an offer to them, or you can look at prospects and see what promotions and rate plan that we put that customer on or recommended to them. We can look at when they plan to purchase. Maybe they were looking at making a switch next week. You can filter that way You can obviously sort by date. Look at the ones that we are allowed to contact and where we checked in that checkbox, yes. And then you can also just, hit view PDF, which is going to actually open up the full quote itself from what we pitched to that customer when we made the quote in the first place. It's going to give you that full document there, just like what the customer would have received. You can also click this little button right here, which downloads the archive. It comes out looking like this, so it's very similar to just the web page view. It doesn't give you that full detailed information, just for customer security purposes is the reason why it's only allowed to export like this. But once you've been using this for a while and you have a lot of quotes and you want to maybe go back to people that you talked to a month ago, and maybe we have a sprint week with the Corden credit or other really attractive offers, and we want to reach back out to customers we spoke to 2 weeks ago or a month ago or whatever, this is an easy and convenient way to be able to sort to that. Lastly, on this topic, if you need to reset your password for the archive, maybe the old password isn't working or we had a manager change, you would, this icon right here, it looks like a storefront. When you click that, it has you put in the current password and your new password so that you can reset it to what you need to. If you don't know what the current password is, when you first try to log into the archive, it's going to populate where you enter the password. You can just click the forgot password link there. It's going to deliver through email a new password to log into the store manager's email address on file based on star profile. So make sure that all star profiles are properly set up so that that password reset goes to the correct person. That's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching.